In today's conversation, I want to quickly do a compare and contrast when it comes to four players, four lenders, where we talk about single member LLC business loan, no income verification. So I'm going to compare and contrast Midwest, Clarify Capital, Sunwise Capital, and Startup Business Lenders. So those are great players that I want to acquaint you into this conversation with. So here's a review you are expecting. So let's first start with Midwest Corporate Credit. So if you are a single member LLC and you are looking for a business loan, no income verification, Midwest Corporate Credit is a great place to start because they they fund startup businesses and also established businesses. So no matter the operational stage of your single member LLC, whether you're a startup or you are an established, independent, self-employed individual, not a problem. For startup funding, they can actually finance you up to $250,000. So they have a simple, fast, and easy revolving sort of a product. Okay, you can have a business loan or you can have a business line of credit, not a problem. If you want to grow an existing business, Midwest Corporate Credit will take care of you. They can actually finance up to $1 million. Okay, so they have all kinds of credit products. It can be revolving or non-revolving. Yeah, they have working capital, they have business term loans, and all of this, they're not verifying income. They have other ways to verify your business credentials, but income is not one of them. Okay, and you can also use the cash from Midwest Corporate Credit to grow an e-commerce store, whether on Shopify, Amazon, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, and whatnot. Okay, so you can fund your inventory. You can take care of marketing, you can take care of growth, you can actually hit your financial goals. So overall, what we love about Midwest Corporate Credit is that they have flexibility. They offer flexibility. You're able to lower your inventory costs. You can purchase inventory in bulk to cover your unit costs and increase your profit margin. Okay, you also have a soft pull. So there's a soft pull process. So you have pre-approval in minutes. So you can see if you qualify for this loan in the blink of an eye, not a problem. Okay. And what we love here is that Midwest Corporate Credit has a team that will work with you. They will analyze your single member LLC. They will see whether or not you qualify for their business. When we talk about no income verification, they have other ways. So they'll ask you, for example, to have a business plan. They'll ask to see your business bank account. So they will see your bank statements. So they will see your cash inflows and cash outflows to sort of see your liquidity trends. Okay, so they're not really interested in income verification, but they're interested in your cash flows because you're gonna need cash to repay the loan. Okay, and there are no assets required. So the loan that I'm talking about, this is an unsecured loan. Let's now talk about Clarify Capital. By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We're having a quick convo. We're having a quick compare and contrast when it comes to single member LLC business loans, no income verification. So when it comes to Clarify Capital is an interesting animal, so to speak. I mean, we love them because you have a quick approval process. Same day business loans are available for single member LLCs. Okay, you have a reduced interest. You have reduced interest rates that starts around 7%, and so bad credit scores are accepted. Minimal paperwork requirements. Okay, and no income verification. So if you have the best strategy to play this game with Clarify Capital is to call them up and speak to an advisor. What will happen here is that they will actually set you up with an advisor, and that advisor will be your main point of contact for any questions going forward. So if you want to kick things off the right way, you want to call right now 877-838-3919, 877-838-3919, so that you can start the process. Okay. What we love about Clarify Capital here is that they have a constellation of reduced paperwork, no income verification, business loans for single member LLCs and multi-member LLCs. So you're talking about short-term business loans. You're talking about low doc equipment financing transactions, business cash advances, no doc business lines of credit, invoice factoring. Fantastic. They really help you in terms of giving you access to a litany, a diversity of single member LLC business loans with no income verifications. So this is fantastic. Okay, and so when we talk about a low doc or no doc business loans, no income verification for a single member LLC work in terms of the one that you get from Clarify Capital. Well, again, this is sort of similar to what I said before. It just means they have a quick online application, and they're not actually paying attention to your income statement. Because when we talk about no income verification, we're really focusing on a financial statement called the statement of profit and loss, the statement of income, or the income statement. They really don't care about that. Clarify Capital doesn't care about that. What they care about is things like your bank statements, things like your accounts receivable, accounts payable, your balance sheet, your cash flow statements, really, really big time. And also your tax returns. Tax returns play an important role because they really help Clarify Capital know exactly where you stand in terms of your liquidity patterns. Now, I want to talk to you now about Sunwise Capital. That's the third player I want to review quickly into this conversation. So, by the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's conversation. We are comparing and contrasting four players, four lenders when it comes to single member LLC business loan with no income verification. So I've already reviewed quickly Midwest Corporate Credit and then Clarify Capital. Now I'm talking about Sunwise Capital. So what is interesting about Sunwise Capital is that they have a very fast application process, very fast. They're not wasting your time with unnecessary questions, like a lot of questions. No, they have a very fast process. You can apply in 5 minutes. You can be pre-approved first, and then you can be approved in minutes. Okay. And the cool thing is that they're really fast. Everything about Sunwise Capital is really fast. They can fund you in a few hours. I mean, as a matter of fact, if you let's say you apply for a single member LLC business loan, no income verification at, let's say, 9 a.m. Eastern, by 3 p.m. Eastern, you could be funded. You could be approved. You can be approved and funded and everything. Okay. But the only thing is that they want you to have to be at least 12 months in business, to have cash flows, and usually they will ask you for 15,000 monthly revenue. But if you have a business plan, if you have bank statements, they will waive that income verification aspect of things. Not a problem. Okay, and they will just want you to have a FICO score of 500 minimum. Okay, and so the good thing is that you can see here that the qualifications are less strict than what you will see with banks, right? And so when we think about Sunwise Capital, we love their business model a lot because they're actually injecting flexibility into the whole business lending process. They've been around for the last 12 years. Okay, they started their business in 2010, so they've been around for a while now. Okay, and when we talk about the loans that are offered by Sunwise Capital, you have unsecured business loans for single member LLC businesses. So you have a $10,000 all the way to $2 million. So those loans do not require cash or assets to secure. Those are unsecured. You also have fast business loans. So those are great for same day funding. So here we're speaking about up to $500,000. Again, here everything is unsecured. You also have merchant cash advances. So those are repaid through your future credit card and debit card sales. And you also have large business loans. So you can get up to $5 million with unsecured business loans for growth or consolidation. So but if you have a single member LLC, the maximum you can get based on our experience with Sunwise Capital is $2 million. But again, $2 million is already good. It's still great anyway. Okay, fantastic. Now let's talk about the fourth lender, startup business lenders. And the name might say startup business lenders, but they also fund established businesses. So if you are a single member LLC, startup, or established business, they'll take care of you. Okay. What we love about startup business lenders is that they have loan amounts up to $15 million, and this is perfect for all startups, established businesses and entrepreneurs, single member LLCs and multi-member LLCs. And they have terms up to 30 years. Think about it, 30 years. So this is really good. So the cool thing about startup business lenders is that they have a constellation of business loans that we love a lot. You're talking about minimum loan amount $5,000, maximum loan amount $250,000 for unsecured business loans. Terms up to 20 years. Okay, rates that start around 6%. This is really good. So all industries are eligible. Okay, so there is no monthly revenue. There's no minimum. Credit score must be a little high though. 680. Okay, co-signers are allowed. Okay, in terms of the lending territory nationwide, they're available everything. So you can use the cash for working capital, acquire new contracts, purchase equipment, purchase inventory, remodel the business location, open a new location, develop a new product or service, pay off an existing business debt, market and advertise your business, purchase supplies and materials, hire new employees, payroll. It's just, you could do a lot of things with a loan from startup business lenders. Okay, so they also have secured business loans. This is really good. So here are the guidelines. If you are interested in a single member LLC secured business loan with no income verification, here the minimum loan amount is 100,000 and the maximum is 15 million. Okay, terms up to 30 years, and the rates start from 5% and go all the way to 15% to 12%. And so this is really interesting, and you can use the cash for a lot of things. Really, again, here they have no restriction really. Okay, it's all about all industries are eligible, not a problem. And one thing I want to say here is that when we talk about startup business lenders, you have a lender that's really flexible. They have excellent customer service. They'll work with you. They're really fast if you reach out to them via email. So they are fast when you communicate via email. If you call them up, sometimes it might take a while. So it's just better to communicate via email. So here you have it. Here you have the 4 players into this conversation. And let me give you an overview before we tell you the best one when it comes to single member LLC business loans, no income verification. By the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a quick comparative analysis when it comes to single member LLC business loans, no income verification, and we're comparing and contrasting 4 lenders: Midwest Corporate Credit, Clarified Capital, Sunwise Capital, and startup business lenders. Okay, one thing I want to say here before you even choose the best one for you, you need to have a clear idea of the different types of small business loans for single member LLCs. Okay, so when we talk about the loan typology, I just want you to keep in mind that you have term loans, you have SBA loans, you have business lines of credit, you have equipment loans, you have invoice factory and invoice financing, you have commercial real estate loans, you have micro loans, you have merchant cash advances, you have franchise loans. So what I'm trying to say here is what? I'm trying to say that you have a constellation of loans, a constellation of business loans that apply for single member LLC businesses. The thing is, my question to you is, which type of loan are you looking for? Okay. And again, it depends on the loan amount. It depends on your personal financial statement, your personal financial history. Because remember, when we talk about single member LLC, even though this is a business, for all intents and purposes, you still, like, your personal affairs are still mixed up with your business's affairs. Okay, for tax purposes, for example, the IRS is looking at you as a disregarded entity. In other words, you're not actually filing a Form 1065. You're actually filing Form 1040, and you are reporting your business transaction on your Schedule C. So it's important to have a clear idea of how much you need and what you need the money for. Okay, for example, if you need cash to buy equipment, it's just better to get an equipment loan. Rates are cheaper. You don't have to go through a lengthier application process. Okay, and what happens here is that the lender will pay the equipment seller right away. They'll pay the equipment seller directly. So the transparency in the process is really good, and it helps you too. Okay. Let me give you a few pro tips. So if you want to get like what information do you need? If you want to get a single member LLC business loan, no income verification, what type of data points do you need? Well, it really depends on the lender. That's one thing I want to say. It really depends on the lender, and but they will ask for things like personal information, like your name and address, your tax identification number, which is either your EIN, your employer identification number, or a social security number, and sometimes both. They'll ask your business name, your business address and phone number, your industry type and company structure, years in business, okay, and number of employees. Remember, you can be a single member LLC and have employees. Okay, it just means that you own the company, but you can actually employ people. You can actually have people. Okay, so this is totally possible. They might ask for your annual business revenue, but you can waive that aspect of things by having a business plan, for example, by having financial projections. Okay, by showing your business bank statements. Those are really important. And usually, if you want to waive the income verification aspect of things, lenders will ask you to have a higher credit score. So be ready to have a higher credit score. Okay, and we're talking about at least 650. And but if you are just like, if you're financing, so if we're talking about a collateralized transaction, in other words, you are financing a piece of equipment, for example, your credit score really doesn't matter, because the lender knows that they have a security they have a lien in the assets. So if something were to happen, they can repo the assets, not a problem. So their risk is kind of limited. So they don't really need to check your credit. Okay, if they do, that's fine, but they really don't need to. So those are things you need to be think about. So are you personally liable for a small business loan? Yes. In most cases, you as the business owner are personally liable for a business loan. So when you take out a business loan, you will typically need to put up collateral if you don't, but then you still need to have skin in the game. Okay, this is really important. So here is our decision. So single member LLC business loan, no income verification, Midwest versus Clarify Capital versus Sunwise versus Startup Business Lenders. Which one should you choose for your next single member LLC business loans? Well, it really depends. And my question to you is, right now, what do you need the money for? What do you need the money for? And the thing is that what are your minimum and maximum loan amounts? So you're probably sitting there, you're a single member LLC, you're looking for a business loan with no income verification. Okay. How much do you want to borrow? Like minimum and maximum. And what kind of a repayment window are you looking for? Like, be very clear about that. What is the length of term, right? This is an important element that you need to clarify. And what is your credit score right now? Because your credit score will also determine which lender you might actually, be more suitable for. And have you thought about the application requirements? Basically, they're not asking for income verification, but they'll ask for gazillions of other documents. Are you ready to supply those? Okay. And how fast you need the cash? And are you looking for a streamlined application process, or you're comfortable actually, basically having a series of conversations via email or phone conversations with the lender? Some people just prefer a one-page application, and some people want to have a series of back and forths. What are you comfortable with? And how fast you need the cash, like in terms of fund disbursement, how fast you need the cash? And are you looking for customer support? Are you looking for does customer support really play an important role in your decision making? So those are really important elements, okay? But one thing I want to say here is that, please, whatever lender you want to go with, always read customer reviews when available. You want to check their Better Business Bureau rating, okay, the BBB rating. You want to read more about them. Think about their rates and fee structures depending on your specific loan. Think about how much they're charging you in terms of fees. Fees are really important, okay? And think about what kind of information they need in general. And does that jive with your own reality? Okay. Remember, to take out a small business loan for your single member LLC, lenders will conduct a hard credit inquiry and request a full application, which will require both personal and business proof of income, okay, identity verification, proof of address, and more. And so those are things I want you to think about. So after comparing and contrasting Midwest Corporate Credit, Clarify Capital, Sunwise Capital, and Startup Business Lenders. The winner is Sunwise. So we think Sunwise is it's just much better. Sunwise, we have rated Sunwise 9.8 over 10, Midwest 9.6 over 10, Clarify 9.3 over 10, and Startup Business Lenders 8.9 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.